So Love Island returns to our screens after being cancelled for the last 2 days, and we see Mike and Priscilla who clash, and we also see the least compatible couples voted and are vulnerable to be dumped from the island. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hope you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, Murad_Murali, and subscribe to my podcast. A new episode was released today that was actually very personal to me and very hard to put out. So if you guys do have the time, I would appreciate if you guys listened, and hopefully you guys can, understand where I'm coming from when it comes to this particular podcast. Now, when it comes to this episode, it was actually quite hard for me to watch. I wasn't able to watch entirely all of it because I felt like it was just very weird. Having watched it, I felt like perhaps Love Island should have waited a little bit more. I wouldn't be mad if they cancelled it up until Thursday and then they just showed us like an hour or 2 hours worth of the show and showed us the couples that would have been gone and then straight to the final. I feel like they perhaps should have done that, maybe cancelled it for more days, because I feel like it's just all very new. It opened up this particular episode with a tribute to Caroline Flack. Now, it really just shows you how powerful Ian Sterling is when it comes to the show and the impact that he has, because there wasn't much jokes, obviously, given the reasons of the recent death of his close friend. And his tribute was touching, and I feel like it was very emotional, especially at the end. His voice breaks, and I feel like it's just very sad from the way he's coming, and seeing the ocean and the seas was very calming and nice and meditative. I feel like it was a nice tribute they made. However, I feel like perhaps it could have been longer, number one, and number two, I would have liked to have seen perhaps a collective amount of memories of Caroline Flack on the show. Like if they showed us different scenes of her walking in, because we always see like her walk was a lot, and then we see like different stuff where she's close with the islanders, where she helps them when they're in there, like Molly May and Amber and so forth, and Georgia Steele when she was comforting them. It would have been nice to have seen like a collective amount of stuff like that as well. So hopefully they'll do that later on when the season ends, but I just feel like the tribute could have been a little bit longer. It was a bit weird how it jumped from the tribute straight to the episode. It's kind of dystopian kind of manner and the sense, like it just came out of nowhere. That's why I feel like maybe it is a bit too soon, and they should have cancelled it perhaps until Wednesday, Thursday, just so that we can all process this, especially people who are working on the show. But the fact that they're putting this content out there for us is actually very difficult for them as well, especially Ian Sterling, especially Laura Whitmore, with Love Island after some being cancelled. I can't imagine how she would have put that show on. It's just way too difficult. It's just too difficult. So, but hats off to Ian Sterling. It was a very good tribute from his part, and you can tell it must have been very difficult and hard for him to do, even to carry on the show. It's very hard. But when it comes to this particular episode, I feel like it was a good episode to watch. A lot of interweaving storylines. We're going to get straight into Mike and Priscilla, because I find this to be very interesting, with the whole pat on the head situation that is very patronizing on Mike's behalf. And I feel like I don't think it's that serious, because we all know his intentions were harmless, but at the same time the deliverance could have been better. And when they had their conversation, what I found interesting is that he was very quick to apologize, which I'm very glad that he does. He takes accountability and responsibility. But Priscilla was very assertive, calm, collective, and healthy communication at hand here, and she simply said, what are you sorry about? Do you even know why I'm upset? And I feel like that was very, very key to this particular conversation. Why am I upset? Do you even know? You're coming here to say apology for damage control, which I feel like is good that he's doing, but at the same time you need to know what you're sorry about, so that the conversation can be even more healthy and direct and have more clarity. And I'm very glad that Priscilla just let him know in a very calm, collective manner that do not embarrass me like that again. I'm not here for it. I'm definitely not. I stand her even more now, because I feel like even before she was very cutthroat but clear. I feel like she was very firm. When Mike was like, do you want to go for a chat? And she was like, nope. I was like, wow, she's pissed. But she was already, she was joking, but she was pissed, and rightly so. And I feel like they dealt with it very calmly and nicely. And I feel like he was able to apologize. He saw where he was wrong. He will never do it again. He understands this. He wasn't putting up a fight. He wasn't going to make an excuse. He was there to say sorry. But the problem with that is that he didn't know what he was saying sorry about. Sometimes just realize where you are wrong exactly. So I'm very glad that Priscilla was able to just let him know in a very calm, collective, assertive manner. And I feel like that in itself was done in a very diligent way, and I stand Priscilla even more because that was just done calmly, and I'm very glad that they have patched things up very, very quickly. Now, this particular challenge, I feel like was very interesting. It was a good challenge because it helps to regurgitate narratives and why people are upset with each other, and the fakest couples and stuff like this. I don't know why Luke and Demi were voted quite a lot in just the challenge and then the voting situation, I'll get into later. I found that to be very interesting. The Natalia and the Jamie kind of kiss that they were doing felt very forced. You can tell that it just was very weird. I'm not a fan of these two in terms of them being a couple. I just don't see it. It's just the compatibility rate, is completely zero. One is 20, one is 29. When they go outside, I just don't see it working. I definitely don't. So I think they'll be voted off for sure. And I feel like the kiss was very awkward. It was just very forced. Perhaps he just got nervous. but I just feel like it was very, very weird. I feel like her, tricking Luke M, coming into Casa Amor, then already, pushing him away, it just has tainted her kind of visit to the villa, and I feel like she won't last for long because that really has tainted her, unfortunately. But I just genuinely do feel like these two just aren't as compatible, and I think we all see it and agree it as well. I don't think they'll win the show for sure or get far in this particular week, especially with this particular voting situation at hand here. I'm beginning to like Jess a lot more. I do like her as it is, but I just feel like she has adopted this kind of narrator kind of role and mediator kind of role, and she has this kind of healthy way of concluding situations that she observes. She observes well, she concludes well. She was just like, I think Natalia's playing a game. I think she's doing all this. She's weird. She's that. She's this. She's able to really see what's going on and understand and observe, and just the way she speaks, it comes off very clear. And I just like the way she is able to put thoughts and points into nice perspectives, and that in itself I feel like she has done previously with her time in the villa, but in this particular episode she kind of dominated in that aspect, and I feel like that is definitely her strength when it comes to her time in this villa. But when it does come to this particular ending and the voting situation, who will go, I'm glad that Shanice and Luke T stayed. Very glad, but I'm also glad that Paige and Finley stayed, because these two are the strongest couples, rightly so. But I was a bit confused about Luke and Demi, because I feel like these two were doing quite well. Clearly Natalia and Jamie, maybe not really Jamie, but Natalia perhaps has some kind of ill will feelings for Luke, but I'm like, did you not leave the guy? You left him, so I don't understand why you're upset. It doesn't really make any sense. You were the one who left him, so it seemed like there's some kind of unhidden, kind of anger here as well. We have Callum and Molly, who could also be up for eviction, dumping. I don't really see them making the final either. My final three are Shanice and Luke T, Paige and Finley, and Mike and Priscilla. I feel like these should be the top three. I don't see Casa Amor, that kind of situation has tainted Molly and Callum, so I don't see them making it far either. Luke and Demi should ideally be the fourth, and I feel like Ched and Jess could make an appearance. I wouldn't be mad if they did, but I just feel like they might not. I don't understand or know. Who do you guys think is going to be dumped from this particular episode? I believe it will be Natalia and Jamie. I feel like they will go, and the other couple could be Ched and Jess maybe. I don't see Luke and Demi going home. I don't see them going on either. Neither do I see Mike and Priscilla going home. I feel like this particular situation they had was a hiccup, but Priscilla dealt with it in a very calm, mature manner, and I'm very glad that she did, in a way that I didn't really expect, because it was done so, in an eloquent manner, and it was put away, very, very quickly, and I'm very glad that that particular situation happened. Now, when it came to the challenge or the voting for the least compatible couples, the excuses that were made were that Mike has had several couples in the villa, but I don't understand where this narrative keeps coming from, because he wasn't playing or juggling different girls at the same time. He wasn't. It's just a common fact. He was dealing with Leanne. Leanne didn't like him. The situation ended. Then he went with Jess and asked Leanne's permission, which he didn't need to do, but he did it, out of kindness. Then, Casa Amor came and he found somebody else. He wasn't juggling two people at the same time. And Jess found Ched. So it's as if, why is that same narrative played with Jess? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. And, people saying that Mike has had 3 love interests, so has Luke T. So it doesn't really make any sense here. And I feel like we keep having this narrative being, kind of subconsciously pushed. And I do find it to be very weird. Yes, he's overtly cheesy. Yes, he does talk a lot. Yes, he can be patronizing like he was to Priscilla. He's not a perfect individual by far. Neither of them are. Not even me, not anybody watching. None of us are perfect. But at the same time, I feel like that I found to be very weird that they use this consistent excuse that he's been with several people. Yes, he likes to move on quickly, but he's not juggling people at the same time, nor is he playing them. He's very clear and cutthroat about what he says. Yes, his speeches could be the same, which can be argued as game playing, but they're all playing a game in there, and he knows he's playing a game, and we know that he is, and he doesn't care about us knowing that. So I find that to be very interesting indeed, and I find that just to be, one to think about, that we're having this kind of narrative still being pushed, and I find it to be very, very interesting. What are your thoughts when it comes to this particular episode? What are your thoughts on the Caroline Flack, tribute? Did you think it was enough? Do you think it could have been better? What are your thoughts on Ian Sterling? What are your thoughts on, just this episode in general? Who do you guys think is going to win the show? Who do you want to win the show? And who do you think is going to be voted off tomorrow? This Mike and Priscilla situation literally was the main thing for this episode. Priscilla was even trending #1 so quickly, and I found it to be, just the shift from the Caroline Flack tribute to the episode was just weird. I don't know what it was, but I felt like it was just too quick, and I just felt like very uncomfortable. I couldn't really watch the show. It just became a lot in a weird way, as somebody who's an avid watcher, evidently, as you guys know. So I thought it would just be, I don't know, do you guys relate? Do you guys think that it was a bit too weird? Did you guys not really care? What are your thoughts on that as well? Because I feel like that particular shift was just a bit too quick, and perhaps they should have just cancelled the show just for a little bit more, maybe till Wednesday, Thursday. I think at least released so that from Thursday to Sunday should be, you know, a good amount of time to wrap it up quickly and give us the final and call it a day. I feel like that perhaps is what they should have done. The Islanders don't know that she's passed away. I feel like that's good for now, just to not stress them out and keep them as they are in the villa. I think that's probably the best thing to do so that doesn't affect them as well right now. I think Ched's mum came out and recently made an interview saying that, you know, it's good that he doesn't know because apparently he really liked her and the Islanders as well. I think I agree with that statement. But yes, let me know when it comes to this particular 10-minute review. What are your thoughts on everything? Please do subscribe, click that button for daily and consistent content. Subscribe to my podcast if you guys wish to, and of course follow me on Instagram. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys soon for tomorrow's Love Island review. Will they come up with, I don't know if they'll come up with the first look tomorrow. I don't blame them for not coming out first looks, because it obviously makes sense in this particular kind of season and the latter end of it. I wouldn't be mad if they don't come up with first looks at all until the season ends. I wouldn't be mad at all. You know, it makes complete sense. Let me know your thoughts are, and I'll catch you guys soon.